Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and Leeds fans. How are you doing today, Charles?
I'm doing all right, sir. It was a very fun and interesting weekend in the Premier League, and we will definitely get into that. But yeah, overall, I'm doing good. How are you doing, sir?
We have very different definitions of the word fun, because what I watched this weekend was certainly not fun. We will give you all a quick recap of those scores, talk about the hot dumpster fires that our teams put on display, and then break down the busiest day in the world for football, transfer deadline day, especially United deciding
Yes, sir.
just to throw the whole pie at the wall and see what stayed. All right, Saturday's games, we had Chelsea demolishing Crystal Palace 4-0. Crystal Palace came in hot, did not look good at all. This looks like the Crystal Palace that we'd expect this season. They're going to struggle. Everton taking on Brighton 4-2. Really fun game to watch if you were a neutral. Everton just clicking, having fun out there. Leeds City. James, Dominic Calvert-Lewin out here scoring more goals than Messi, Ronaldo, and Louis.
I'm not a fan of him. But don't worry, he'll hit a coach streak at some point. Those goals will stop coming.
Whatever you say, Liverpool fans. Leeds proving once again they're going to be a difficult team this year. Strong start, a 1-1 draw with City. Getting a point there, always a good thing, especially your first.
And that is with their new 60 million plus new center back too, by the way.
Yep. And to cap off Saturday, Newcastle with a big 3-1 win over Burnley. Kind of surprising from Newcastle. I did not watch that game at all. I got busy running errands.
Who would want to watch that game? That's the question.
You ain't got to do all those Newcastle Burnley fans like that. But yeah, that was a game. I pegged it as a 1-1 type draw. Newcastle scored. I think Colm Wilson had 2 goals. Colm Wilson, surprise, like a very good under the radar player. And Charles has your Sunday scores.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for Sunday, first game, Leicester City versus West Ham. West Ham surprised everyone, beating Leicester City 3-0, and that's just crazy to think about that too, because Leicester started off the season very strong. They were playing beautiful football. Don't know what happened to them on Sunday. They just
Brendan Rodgers
turned the switch on.
Brendan Rodgers happened.
Then there's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Next, Southampton versus West Brom. Southampton taking a 2-0 win over West Brom. Then the next game, Wolves finally getting that first win, I believe. They're getting their first win over Fulham with a 1-0 win right there. And the next, Arsenal versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United still looking for their first win. It was a team that I thought highly of when we, were doing league predictions in the Premier League, and they finally scored their first game, and this is match day 4. They finally scored their first goal, and they still lost. Arsenal came on top. Saka had a header and then the second goal was by I can't remember their name. Who was
Nicolas Pepe?
Yes, Nicolas Pepe was a really, really decent effort right there by himself with dribbling through everyone and stuff like that. Didn't even have an angle for the shot. Last 2 games to cap off the weekend. You will hear us complain about this here in the next couple of minutes. Manchester United versus Tottenham. Tottenham beating the brakes off of Manchester United 6-1. There's a red card situation. We'll definitely let Alex get into that. I don't think it should have been a red card, and if it was, then the other player should have got a red card. That was an incident. That's my take on it. And then last but not least, my lovely Liverpool Reds got destroyed by Aston Villa, 7-2. We did not look like Liverpool at all. Joe Gomez out here, I don't know what he was doing. We didn't know what we were doing. Just nothing worked. Nothing was working for us. Everything. Aston Villa played a great game. I'll have to give it up to them. They really pressed our high line, and yeah. So that is your weekend league wrap-up review of the Premier League. So yeah, now we are on to the international break. So there's no Premier League or just club football in the next 2 weeks or 3. Can't remember.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So in the next 2 weeks, there's no club football. So we'll have to figure something else to talk about. But yeah, so that is what happened. And the next set of games start on the 17th of October, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Go ahead, talk to us about that Man United Tottenham game. What happened? No, I'm gonna give you a timer too, so we don't go super long.
Oh,
How much time you want? How much time do you think you need actually?
I mean, I'll break this down in 3 minutes or less. Okay.
Oh,
first of all,
this is a quick one. All right.
It's simple, and it's the same problems with Palace. It's the same problems we've shown for the last 8-10 years. Okay. First of all, specific problem with this team is Harry Maguire played every minute of every game last year for no reason, and then on his international break decided to fight the Greek police after his sister allegedly was drugged, and when they tried to attack the dude, the Greek police decided to fight Harry Maguire. So then his shortened break already got ruined by having an entire international debacle happen. Then you have a front three who has so much promise, but Martial gets a red card for slapping old dude Eric Lamela in the face after Eric Lamela throws an elbow into his chest and chin. Now, I don't know about you, but a little slap in the face versus an elbow, I mean, the elbow's doing a lot more. It should not be a red card, but by the letter of the law, it is. So I understand that. However, both players should have been red carded. Simple as that, simple review. At that point, though, we were already down 2-1, and after the second goal and the first goal, we quit. The red card killed us. I mean, later in the game, Bailly probably should have gotten a red for stepping on Harry Kane's leg. Luke Shaw tried to break Lucas Moura's legs rather than run. I mean, this is a team, we have no options to control the ball on the right side of the field. We have a defense that needs to wake up, give Maguire a break, give Lindelof, keep Lindelof time off. Bailly and Axel Tuanzebe, honestly, at this point to start at center back duo for a couple games. I think Maguire comes back. He just needs a little time off. He shouldn't go to England on this break. Give him the time off. And then I wouldn't mind seeing more of the Bailly-Maguire pairing personally, or Maguire or Tuanzebe. We'll jump in a little bit what all the transfers mean for United. I do think they actually help a lot, but it's the same problems. And when we haven't had any building and you wait until the last day of the transfer deadline to do something, this is what happens. It's the same thing last year with Bruno. You waited until January when we could have gotten Bruno in the summer. You lose half the season. You lose these 3 games with these players, and you lose that time for them to incorporate in the team. Sir, I will say one thing about Liverpool. You all have a motto, you never walk alone. And I appreciate you not letting United fans walk alone and being absolutely humiliated this weekend.
We're glad we can hold you guys' hand and lead you to the promised land. I can say one thing about the Manchester United Tottenham game. I honestly think Ed Woodward should have, after the second goal, honestly, Ed Woodward should have left the stands and went to his office, at wherever his office is, whether it's in the actual stadium or in the training ground.
The little snippet where NBC showed him like right before halftime, and just the look of I should be fired right now across his face with his mask on, and you could still see he's telling you with his eyes, how do I still have this job? Why do I still have this job?
It was wild. I was like, that man needs to go be in his office right now making phone calls. But he was on his phone texting and stuff like that throughout the game. But okay, that's all I have to say about Manchester United and Tottenham. On to Liverpool and Aston Villa. We played awful. Aston Villa played phenomenal. First of all, Ollie Watkins,
great
his first name, Ollie Watkins.
Yep.
Had not heard of him. Yeah.
Great.
The fact that he repaid that $40 million fee to Aston Villa
already.
over the weekend because he had a hat trick within the first half.
And I have to jump in. He was mad that he didn't score on the other 2 breakaways that he had, which tells you the type of player that he wants to be this year. So, Aston Villa got a good one.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you make that jump from – it's one thing making the jump from the Championship to the Premier League, but when you make that jump and you cost $40 million, you need to walk in the door doing something. Mm-hmm. You need to putting up something. And he showed that. It might have taken him a few games to just get used to the Premier League, but that game against Liverpool was a phenomenal game. Jack Grealish, I mean, I think he is a highly undervalued player. Even when Jack Grealish was in the league long time ago, before when Aston Villa last had gotten relegated and stuff like that, he was super young coming out of the academy. I was like, Jack Grealish is going to be something nice. And he is, and he proved that once again on Sunday when we played against them. For us at Liverpool, we just looked awful. We were never in the game. A lot of defensive mistakes. I don't know what's going on with us this year. A lot of defensive mistakes. And coming from the people that I would not expect a defensive mistake. Maybe we were just old. Maybe we were just, we were due some mistakes due to the fact of how spectacular we were last season and not making mistakes, even the season before that. But, I've never seen that many mistakes by a Liverpool team in the past 3 to 4 years. Joe Gomez, I don't know what's going on with him. He just did not have a good game. Van Dijk sometimes looked kind of all over the place, like he was really trying to hold it together. I feel like our wing backs, Trent and Robo, they were pushed up too high most of the game because I think what Aston figured out is if you're going to play this high line and you want to bring up your 2 wing backs, that's fine. But we're going to sit 3 people right on top of Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. So it's literally a 3-on-2 break every single time, and maybe Fabinho trailing back to catch up with the dribbler or whatever. In our midfield, Klopp needs to figure that out, honestly. I don't like with how deep our midfield is, the combinations that Klopp throws out there sometimes makes no sense. Naby Keita, I don't know what's going on with him. It's like he has good games, and then out of nowhere he disappears, and he makes it's like, why are you on the field, Naby? And I'm starting to get tired of vouching for him because I absolutely love Naby Keita. I think he's a phenomenal player, but this is your 3rd year with us. You should be
kicking on. At
this point, you should be a solidified starter, especially for the amount of money that we spent on him. Outside of that, the front 3, I think Diogo Jota did his best. Again, he's still trying to probably get used to the system, getting into the club and stuff like that. Firmino, I am honestly starting to get a little pissed off with Firmino. He's too much in his head for sure. Too much in his head. Yeah. I mean, that at the least this game should have been 7-3, honestly, because in the first half he had an opportunity where Villa turned the ball over and all he had to do was just put his foot through it. Just put it on target. That's all I ask. But he took a touch and then tried to pass it, and by that time, the Villa had recovered and all that stuff. And then, Salah is going to be Salah. Scored 2 goals. Yeah. He had both goals, I think so.
Yeah,
at least the first one. Oh, yeah, no, he did have both goals. Yeah, the first one was a good one, even though it was kind of lucky. He just popped up to him, but he still put the ball in the net. I think game –
that was the quietest 2-goal performance I've ever seen from a player.
Yeah. I think what this game really showed is how important Sadio Mane is to this team. In all, a lot, and I know a lot of Liverpool fans are like, but what about Salah? He scored all those. Yeah, but the work rate that Sadio Mane puts in game after game is just it's something that you need in your team at all times. And I say that due to the fact that, again, knowing that he had tested positive for corona, I wasn't going in there expecting Diogo Jota to play that type of game like Sadio Mane played. But at the same time, I was just like, let's just see what happens. I think a lot of we had no intensity whatsoever. Like I said, going back to our midfield, Fabinho, I will always put Fabinho in that center defensive mid position. But the two that play in front of him, that needs to be a better combination. I think if you have Hendo in there with Naby Keita, I think that's a little bit more feasible because that really does give Naby Keita the ability to go in and make defensive plays. Make more offensive plays. Because Hendo, if he needs to, he will run back and he will play more defensive type holding midfield position. Gigi Wijnaldum, I love Genie. He just the last couple of games he's just been looking really out of place, looking lackluster.
He looks like he already left Liverpool.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, I feel like he didn't get that contract extension like he wanted. He's just like, all right, I'm just gonna play it out. Let's just see what happens. And of course, knowing him, he didn't want to leave anyway. So now he's probably thinking maybe I should have probably looked at possibly going to Barcelona with Ronald Koeman and stuff like that. But overall, it was just I can say that we were due a performance like this, especially with how perfect or close to perfect we've been in the past 3 years, honestly. And with that, I can say like, yeah, it was embarrassing as shit, but I don't think it was as embarrassing as Manchester United Tottenham, because if you also look back at the game against Villa for us this past weekend, I think out of 7 of their goals, it's either 3 or 4 of them. I don't know why I said 3 and I put 4 fingers up, and then I said 4 and put 3 fingers up. It's a Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize. It's been a day, but I think either 3 or 4 of their goals were off deflections as well. So that also just shows you how unlucky we were, and also just how out of place we were. So overall, like if we were gonna give grades for this game, I would definitely like an F for sure. But that's just an F because we didn't go study for a test the night before. We didn't study for this test at all. For you guys, I don't know if you even want to even give them a grade. I think you just want to just hold them back a grade level. Is that what you want to do?
Oh, send them all back. No, I mean I think I agree with you. The biggest difference and the biggest takeaway between the two games, despite how terrible we both looked, is that Liverpool's like everything was off today. You've got 2 missing players with COVID. You know, you've been so good the last couple of years. It was a fluke. Couple of inches different, and it's a much closer game. You never know what happens. United, heads were down, shoulders were shrugged.
Yeah.
The effort was terrible. Luke Shaw, I think, maybe sprinted once, and I've defended Luke Shaw for so long, but I don't know what happened in the last 3 months. Not even 3 months. The last 2 months. It's bad. And the difference isn't, well, we had an off day. We didn't get lucky. The difference is United fans everywhere tweeting, texting, snapping. What is this team? And it's the same problem we brought up in the basic. And when talking about philosophies, is we don't have a real identity because we flip-flopped around different managers. And Ole's trying to do his thing, but even then, with what a terrible transfer window this has been, it's a mess. And I don't know. I think we retweeted from our Twitter account. Make sure you all follow, subscribe. Video of Patrice Evra, who was a top 5 in the world left back during his time at Manchester United. Probably most underrated and overrated left back at the same time. But tweet out a video of him talking about it, and you can see the pain. And he talks about, I wish I could, tear up my contract at Sky so I can actually say how I really feel about this team right now.
Mans was ready to quit his job. Jesus.
It was bad. I mean, and that's the thing. It wasn't just, look, the red card with Martial was a terrible decision. Anthony Taylor is one of those referees where things just don't seem to go well with us. I think him and Michael Oliver are the 2 referees where I'm like, something wonky is going to happen when we play. especially Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
But we not only did we play terribly and look terrible, but we quit, and that was evident for everyone to watch. And that's why, thank God, it's the international break. You know, I just wish we didn't have as many people going off as we do. But I hope they use it.
Okay, go ahead.
Get their head straight, because it's not good enough. And I mean, all the players posted that same type of message. De Gea posted a picture with where at one point he was on the ground, and it wasn't even a bad, like, it's 6 goals for De Gea, and have had to defend De Gea the last year and a half with his up and down form after being the best goalie in the world and not getting respected for it. Like, none of those 6 goals were De Gea's fault. Literally none of them. Like, you could drop any goalie, like, of the past ever, and none of them are. You might save one, because you might. But none of the rest are on him at all, and it's a mess.
Yeah, I think like you said, like, with the difference between United and Liverpool and our games this Sunday was, you guys definitely gave up. Whereas Liverpool, we would go down. I mean, when we were down 3 goals, we were still trying to go at them. But at that point, all Villa had to do was park the bus. And yeah, I do feel for you and for De Gea too. Because I would say outside of last year, because last year I think that was his worst year I've ever seen him in a United shirt as a goalie, for sure. And you can still, like, if you want to look back at his highlights from last season, look back the goals and stuff like that. Like, yeah, there are times where it was, probably his defense's fault, honestly. But then there were times where, like, De Gea was letting easy shots go right through his hands. He wasn't catching anything. But yeah, I think overall from this past Sunday, and again, I watched most of the game as well myself. I don't think I can remember any of those goals being De Gea's fault whatsoever.
No.
He was,
like I said,
definitely left high and dry, for sure.
Maybe if he was a couple inches taller, like Neuer and a couple of the other bigger keepers, maybe he gets to 1 or 2 of them. But even then, with how bad everything was, he'd probably just hit it.
Yeah.
So one of our guys who would miskick it, and Harry Kane knocks it in. But enough about how terrible we are. For now, anyway. Let's jump in today, Monday, October 5th, the transfer deadline day. For those that don't know what that means, is today was the last day in the Premier League that teams could make purchases or go after players from other leagues. I think there's a 10-day extension that they have where they can negotiate with teams in the championship and below. So a little inner extension on English soil, but I doubt many Premier League teams want to do business with each other right now. Championship teams too.
No, not at all.
So,
well, I mean, if you got to get some academy players out to get them on loan, then that'd be a reason to talk to some championship teams or something. Yeah,
that's about it though. We'll do. We talked about it. We're gonna talk about a couple of key ins and outs on each team. We will go alphabetically down the table, starting with Arsenal. Obviously, cannot stand Arsenal's owner, Stan Kroenke. I feel for Arsenal fans everywhere. We equally despise our owners. Biggest transfer out has to be Gunnar Soros. How are you just going to fire your mascot that's older than half your fans? Same guy has been your mascot for almost 30 years, and you just going to fire him on transfer deadline day. Real talk.
For all of you guys that don't know who Gunnar Soros is, there will be a picture on the screen right now. Okay, there you go. Yes, that is Gunnar Soros, and he has been fired, unfortunately. But what does Arsenal do after they fire him? Go out and spend how much money, sir?
A lot of money. I think
$45 million
on one player. Arsenal, who equally loves to spend a lot of money on one player every summer, and then always talk about never spending money on any one player. And I'm like, well, you buy Ozil for a ton of money, Lacazette's a lot of money, Aubameyang you pay for a lot of money for. Make up your mind, y'all.
They said that because you just never get the results. That's why.
Thomas
That's the
Partey,
biggest reason.
Willian on a free from Chelsea, and Gabriel from Lille are their biggest transfer ins, in my opinion. Gabriel, strong. I'm pretty sure he's a center back. He's one of those. You give him the right amount of time. You bring him in at the right spot. You don't rush it. Make sure he's gelling with the team. He's going to be really good. Thomas Partey, amazing.
Yeah.
Disruptor. You going to throw an attack at him, and he's going to stop you. He don't care who you are.
And then ping a ball over the top to have Aubameyang or Lacazette or Nicolas Pepe or Saka, to go run on. So I think for Arsenal, outside, of course they're gonna say the best transfer is Thomas Partey, but I think Gabriel coming in and playing defense, that is something that they really needed to solidify. You got David Luiz back there, and they also, I can't remember who else they have, Holding or something like that, whoever the heck they have.
They keep rotating.
They needed a strong center back, and from the couple of games that I've seen Gabriel play, he looks like the real deal Holyfield.
Couple notes on players leaving Arsenal. You got Henrik Mkhitaryan, which officially makes, without a doubt, the Henrik Mkhitaryan Alexis Sanchez swap a total flop for both sides.
Cool. Oh, for sure.
Pause real quick.
Okay.
What a dud of a deal. Other big ones, Matteo Guendouzi on loan to Hertha Berlin, and Lucas Torreira on loan to Atletico Madrid. Yeah, I think it's a solid.
I think that Lucas Torreira one, I think that only happened due to the fact that Partey came over. I think that's how that deal worked out. And then with the loan option, with the option to buy. But yeah, I think Arsenal, I think they did good. Matteo Guendouzi, don't know why they even got him in the first place.
He and Arteta have just never gotten along, and Guendouzi's been so.
Yeah, I never really Guendouzi. I think another thing we should mention with the Arsenal, Emiliano Martinez, one of their backup keepers, gone out there to got a transfer to Aston Villa, and he has been phenomenal. I think he has kept a couple of clean sheets and has won every game he's played so far.
Yeah,
I think they're
3-0
or
backup goalkeepers that.
Yeah.
He's one of those backup goalkeepers that is the few times you don't want to face a backup goalkeeper because he's good and he's just waiting for his chance.
He's gotten his chance, and here we are. All right, next team is Aston Villa.
What was your grade for Arsenal?
Oh, what was our grade for Arsenal for transfers coming in?
Total
window. I'll give him a B minus.
B.
Because I think they've finally made some transfers that make sense.
Yep.
Basically, that's what I'm going with. They made transfers that made sense, so that's what I'll give.
Aston Villa, lot less traffic.
Aston Villa, yeah.
Cool.
So with Aston Villa, they brought in Ollie Watkins from Brentford. Brentford is a side in the Championship. That's who we were talking about earlier that scored the 3 goals in the first half against Liverpool. And then they also brought in Matty Cash. He came from Nottingham Forest. He was a highly rated defender. He played well as well against Liverpool. They brought in, outside of that, Emiliano Martinez came from Arsenal, playing as a goalkeeper for them. And then they also brought in Ross Barkley on loan for the season from Chelsea. I'm not a big Ross Barkley fan, only because honestly, because he came up with Everton. But that one did shock me, actually. But it makes sense because, I don't think Ross Barkley was ever getting his fair chance at Chelsea. But then again, if you look at their midfield, they're already pretty loaded anyway, so I don't even know why he even made that move in the first place.
Chelsea buy a promising English talented player, and it doesn't work out. Tell me where I've heard that before.
They're still doing it. Look at Hudson-Odoi. They were talking about him going to Bayern for a loan deal. So, but yeah.
Again, no real major releases, I think. None that really moved the radar.
Yeah, nothing. No one that's really
Championship championship Lionel Messi, Ross McCormick. I feel like he's one of those dudes that's just always in the championship, always scoring a lot of goals down there. He's one of those dudes. Don't ask me why I know that.
But can you do it in the Prem? That's the question.
I don't think he's ever done it in the Prem.
I think I'll give Villa.
Villa's hard to grade.
What are you giving Villa?
Villa's a little tougher to grade. I'm gonna go with a B- with Villa. I do like the moves. I just feel it's one of those. I know it's tough. I just feel they haven't done enough. Like Ollie Watkins did look good, and Barkley is gonna help create some chances, so that takes a little bit of pressure off of Grealish. But I don't think they have enough as a team to score enough again. They've definitely started much stronger than I expected. I'm not going to put them in my relegation zone anymore. But I'm going to give them a B- just because, especially because the Barkley deal is a loan. So you never know if he's going to stick around long term or not. So yeah, I go B-.
Right. B-, all right. I would say I would just give them a C, kind of based on what you're saying, but also like my thing is like with these signings, like is it really going to help them the full length of the season? Like yeah, they've had a hot start, but like how are they going to do during the Christmas period? That's always my biggest thing. Like yeah, you have a good start, but once we get down into that November, December season where we're playing every 3 days or every 2 days, like how is this team going to hold up? So I'll give them a C. Next is Brighton. Biggest ones that came in. Adam Lallana came in from Liverpool, came in on a free transfer, and they also got Joel Veltman from Ajax.
He's an interesting
we don't know how much that fee. Yeah, Joel Veltman is a defender coming for Ajax. I think they got him in there for under $1 million. $1 million, I think. Yeah, it was super cheap.
He's one of those players, and they brought in a bunch more guys, but he's just one of those players that you know is good, but you don't know how good he really can be. And I hate to do this, but pause again.
Mm-hmm.
And back. Veltman.
Yeah.
He could be great sometimes, but don't know. I'm going to be a little harsh on these guys. I think this is a D+.
Yeah. Outside of those two players, Adam Lallana and Joel Veltman, there's nothing else really coming in the door and really nothing. I mean, I guess they had a lot going out, but a lot of loans and stuff like that. Aaron Moy.
Yeah.
Aaron Moy went on a loan to went out to Shanghai, went to the
Glenn Murray went down on loan. Glenn Murray down and back.
Yeah.
I think Brighton's just one of those teams. I don't see them staying in the Premier League long term unless they get serious about general squad quality. They might do enough to survive 1, maybe 2 years, but I don't see them unless they get drastically different.
True.
Burnley.
Next is Burnley. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, they really didn't do anything. They brought in Dale Stephens from Brighton, and they brought in Will Norris from Wolves. Now don't even know who those two players are, to be honest with you. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I have no name recognition for anyone on their incoming list. couple of names that jump out: Joe Hart, Aaron Lennon, being both getting the boot out of there. Same with Adam Phillips.
I didn't even know Aaron Lennon was still playing in the Prem or even on a team. Jesus. All right. Well, we're not even gonna.
I'm going with a straight D- here.
Yeah.
I would go lower. I would give him. I can't give him an F just because I don't know enough about the guys coming in.
Right.
Connor Barrett from Leicester is the only one, actually. Now that I double-checked the list. He's one of those, I think it's a prospect, so it doesn't do anything to help them. Mid-level club.
Gotcha.
This is the interesting one. Chelsea.
Splash
that cash. We got Timo Werner, Ziyech from Ajax, Ben Chilwell over from Leicester.
Hakim Ziyech.
Malang Sarr from Nice, Thiago Silva on the free from PSG, Havertz, they paid a lot of money for his release clause, and Mendy
90 mil. Yeah, if we're just going based off names, then yeah, I'll give them a solid A. Why not? Now, if we're going based off of how are they going to perform, or is this going to really help them, I'm probably going to drop them down to like a B. I mean, Edward Mendy, I think, was probably the most important signing that they needed because of their goalkeeping issues with Kepa. Timo Werner, I mean, he proved it in the Bundesliga. Let's see if he can prove it in the Prem. Like I said, this year, he's not going to have the year that I think everyone is expecting. I think he's just going to really try to find his feet this year. Now my expectations are going to go up for him next year. Hakim Ziyech, haven't seen him play yet, but I know that he's a great signing. He was phenomenal for Ajax when he played there. I think he's an academy product from Ajax, actually. And he was part of that Ajax team on that Champions League run a couple of years ago. He's a very phenomenal player. Thiago Silva, very nice seasoned veteran player, has played in other big leagues across Europe. He's a little older, but I mean, it should still solidify them in the back just a little bit. Ben Chilwell coming over Leicester as a left back. I'm not gonna lie, like I think Ben Chilwell is good, but I don't know if he's as highly rated as everyone's making him out to be. We'll see how that works out. I could be wrong. Malang Sarr, to be honest with you, I don't know who that player is. And then of course you got the biggest. He's good, okay. And then you got the big money signing out of everyone is Kai Havertz, which based on the couple of performances that I've seen from him, I hope this is not a bust. But then again, we're only like 4 games into the season, so we'll see. Yeah. Like I said, if I'm just looking straight at it on paper, yeah, solid A across the board. Now, based on how everything is going, as I right now, I'll give him a B. I think also you got to give Frank Lampard time to get these players, used to the system, used to the other teammates and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, you're talking about Chelsea, who fired a manager 6 months after he won in the Champions League. So I don't think many managers get this thing called time. Frank might be the exception.
That's very true.
As a club legend. I'm actually going to go with a C+.
All right. Okay.
I'm
going
C+.
A C+. Go ahead. Explain.
Couple, they lost Pedro, they lost Willian, veteran wing players. They do have a ton of young wing talent, but they also let Michy Batshuayi back on loan to Palace. Lewis Baker, another good young prospect, is on loan to Trabzonspor. Barkley to Aston Villa. Timo Bakayoko, who's never really kicked on since he signed from Monaco, back on loan to Napoli. Ruben Loftus-Cheek on loan to Fulham. I think, especially a couple of those were mistakes. I think there is no balance in this team. I don't trust the back line, except for Azpilicueta. I think Chilwell is good, not great. I think he's really good when you get to play from the lead. I don't like him when someone's putting pressure on you. Havertz and Werner, all their signings, their attacking signings, all have potential. for sure. I'm not disparaging any of them, but I don't think they did anything to actually get better. They have a couple of these guys are better players, but you're not helping what caused you to drop points last year. I don't trust anyone on their defense except Azpilicueta. Mendy is a good goalkeeper signing, but you got him late, which is one of my things when I'm doing these judgings. Like, he's just getting there, so he has to learn comfort with his back line, which even with Thiago Silva's been past it for a couple of years now and has been skating by with PSG because he only has to play games when they play Champions League games. And he's been exposed in those games. So I don't think Thiago Silva actually does anything for them. I don't think he's the Thiago Silva of 5 years ago. So yeah, I think they got some shiny toys to play with. But I don't think they actually do anything to really help. They might score some more goals. So instead of being fourth, they would be third if they beat us on goal differential.
Fourth, they were there.
And I'm also downgrading the young talent because I don't like that personally. Crystal Palace.
Gotcha.
Right off the back, only
Richie Eze.
Michi is the only major in. I think that helps that team, which is why I'm giving them a D+. They're gonna struggle.
I don't think I don't think Michi Batshuayi, how do you pronounce his name? I don't think he is the only Premier. I think Eberici Eze is a great signing for them. Coming from the championship, playing with QPR. I watched him. He has got a whole bunch of talent. He has a whole bunch of just like I feel like he has that. He has that talent. He just needs that time. And I think him making that move now, especially to a club like Crystal Palace, I think it's great for him. I mean, he'll get some starts here and there, but as much as who's their who's their manager? Jesus Christ.
Roy Hodgson.
Yes, as Hodgson gets him. As he gets him acclimated to the team more and gets him into more minutes, I think Eze is going to be a great addition for the next few years before he makes another big move in the Prem. And then outside of that, don't really know anybody else coming in, and then don't really know anyone else coming out. So I mean, I'll give it a D as well. But yeah, I think Eze is going to surprise some people.
Yeah, he might. But other than that, I'm not sold. Oh,
yep.
Look at that. It's your Premier League leading 4 games, 4 wins. Everton Football
Which is wild.
The one team Liverpool fans would hate more than United coming out of nowhere to win the title, especially after y'all finally win the Premier League. How mad would you be?
I think we play them this month too.
Yeah.
How mad would I be if they won the league?
First game back.
Probably will never watch the Prem ever again. Oh, we play them first game back. Oh, that's gonna be
6 in the morning our time.
I will definitely be up to watch that game. And if Everton beat us, then I'm just gonna say, you know what, the league's chalked. We need to just go ahead and stop the league. I'm saying that Carlo Ancelotti has been putting some special stuff in the Gatorade or whatever they drink over there. Yeah, no. But
I'm going A- on this one, actually. This is one of my more –
A-.
This is one of my favorite moves. Okay, so first of all, Allen from Napoli is such an under-the-radar good signing because he's so good involving in the play, and helping break up.
Is Allen – is he a midfielder? Yes?
Yep.
Brazilian midfielder. Is he defensive or attacking or
both? He's really good at both. That's the thing. He's
gotcha.
Good at he's really good at linking the play. And
gotcha.
So I've seen the videos of him, and he's really good at disrupting play.
Okay, so typical strong box-to-box midfielder. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the most underrated signings of the window. Nkono from Marseille, another really good under-the-radar signing. And then obviously you sign a golden ball runner-up, James Rodriguez, who he's just when James is playing and he's happy and he's having fun, he's one of those guys that you're just not going to put the guard.
Mm-hmm.
He might not make every shot, and he might miss his crosses a little bit, but he's going to put you as the opponent in danger when he has the ball. And how happy that team is right now, how happy they're coming together under Carlo. They look good. I hate to say it.
I will give them full credit. Yes, they look good. My thing is, can they do it over the full season? That's my only question. That is my only question. Or if, Rodriguez or if Allen or even Decore, who they brought in as well, if one of those guys go down, how are they going to respond to that? That's my biggest thing. Overall, yeah, I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm just gonna say a B because of the fact that they're Everton. On paper, yes, a solid A minus, but because of who I am, fuck Everton, and I'm giving them a B. I honestly didn't think they were gonna pull it off with signing James Rodriguez, but the fact of the ties with Carlo Ancelotti, and every time he plays under Ancelotti, he does wonders. We saw it at Real Madrid, we saw it at Bayern Munich. Now we're seeing it at Everton.
I would actually go A if they brought in someone to really push Pickford, just because.
Yeah.
There's no keeper from any top team in the top leagues that I trust less when the other team has a corner, a free kick, or a high cross coming in. If I see Jordan Pickford going for a cross, I know something bad's going to happen.
Or even if the ball is going out.
Yeah, then too.
Even if the ball is going out, he doesn't need to touch it.
Fulham. Easiest grade here. It's an F.
All right, then we can just skip it. Screw it.
Mario,
Next.
Couple Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mario Lemina, couple nice players. Harrison Reed, too, from Southampton. Good under-the-radar player, but there's nowhere near enough for them to produce goals or to just not score. Get scored on, I mean.
Yeah. Going back to Everton, forgot that they did bring in Ben Godfrey, center back from Norwich, which there was actually, for some reason, I don't know why, but there were actually talks of Liverpool trying to get Ben Godfrey, but I guess that just never came out of those talks never came out of anything, as you can see. But I think this is a good move for Ben Godfrey. I feel like the year before they were in the championship, he was doing good. Last year when they were in the Prem, I think he did solid work. Again, Norwich they didn't have the firepower. They didn't have the players that could really help them even stay up in the league. And of course, they also just weren't scoring goals. But I think it's a good move for Ben Godfrey, by the way. But what are you giving Fulham? Straight F, you said?
Yeah, straight F.
All right.
There's not enough. I'm looking both short term and long term. There's not enough. I would be shocked if they were still in the Premier League next year. Sorry, Fulham fans.
Yeah, fair.
I like your uni.
Fair enough.
Your kids are nice.
Next is Leeds. I'm pretty sure Leeds have, I don't know where Leeds have gotten the money, but they have been spending. They have been writing
They got that Amazon documentary money out here.
That's probably what it is. They're writing checks. They bring
Russell
in
Crowe.
Yeah, exactly. They bring in Rafinha from Rennes. They bring in Diego Llorente from Real Sociedad, Rodrigo from Valencia,
Costa from
Harrison, he's on
already
loan.
paid off.
Yeah, Helder Costa, which I think that came from.
Harrison's been on loan there for a little while too. This is his second game.
Yeah, because the year before, 2 years ago, he was at NYCFC and MLS actually, while he was still with Manchester City. So yeah, he's on loan for Manchester City. And then Sam Greenwood from Arsenal. I'm trying to figure out who else is Robin Koch from Freiburg. And I feel like they just signed someone else today. I might be missing it on my thing, or I might not be. On my iPad, what I'm looking at right now.
I'm gonna go with solid.
If I had to give a grade, solid B, you said?
I would be strong B.
I would say a B minus personally, because at one point with all these signings, I'm like, are you guys just making signings just to make signings, or are you guys actually making signings that are going to be worth it? So
I think
we will
most of
see.
them. I think most of them are real signings. I think they had.
Yeah.
I think that especially because they had a lot of loan players on loan and loaned in players last year, so that's why I think they have so many coming in. But I think the guys that they brought in, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Costa already has had a great start. I think Rodrigo is going to give him more than enough goals, along with Patrick Bamford up there. Patrick Bamford also much stronger start to the season than I think any of us expected. Actually looking like the player Chelsea bought initially a couple years ago. I think they did more than enough.
I mean, they needed him to get better though.
Yeah. Yeah, I go solid B.
All right, so you're going with B. I'll give him a B. I'll give him a what did I say?
Right,
a C?
Leicester.
Something like that. Yeah.
I made my bold prediction.
Leicester. They have Wesley Fofana.
And Sings Under.
Yeah, things over, and then Timothy
Leicester,
Castagna.
I'm going with C-. I think.
Yeah, I think.
And I go C- because I think the three guys they brought in, they also brought in Castagna from Atlanta, who are the most underrated team in
Atlanta. Yep.
They're all good potential players, but none of them immediately jump in the first squad. The starting 11, none of them blow me away or make me be like, yo, make me worried. And I think it's a bit of a letdown, especially with how well they did last year in general, and it does not help my bold prediction, which we get to redo our league predictions in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank goodness for that.
And then
Liverpool.
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
you're
the
great.
biggest, well, I was going to say, yeah. Oh, well, I was going to say also like the biggest person that they had going out the door, Leicester, was Ben Chilwell, which we talked about with him at Chelsea. I would actually give them just a C, not a C-, and I give them a C due to the fact that it's part of the same reasons, but also too, I think I think they really were going for depth. I don't think they really needed to look at, we need to bring in a for sure starter in this position or that position. I think they were like, okay, let's bring in a few pieces to get some depth. Liverpool, we brought in Diogo Jota from Wolves, Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich, and Kostas Tsimikas from Olympiacos. The biggest transfer with us, definitely Thiago coming in from Bayern Munich. Proven winner, played for Barcelona, played at Bayern Munich, won everything there is to win in Germany, including a couple of Champions Leagues. Best signing, and he was the second cheapest for us too, which is surprising. And then Diogo Jota come in $45 million. I feel like we overpaid for him for sure, but let's again adding squad depth, especially to the front three, so we can give them some rest whenever we need to. And what we had going out the door, we had Dejan Lovren. He went to Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia. Adam Lallana.
Your boy, Loris Karius. Poor dude. Y'all let him get concussed and kept playing.
Yeah, well.
And so I'm going to give you guys a C. And I'm going to go C-, actually. I think Thiago's a great signing. He'll replace with Gigi out the door, 1 foot out the door. Jota, I actually don't rate that much. I think he was more a product of the players around him and setting him up, especially at Wolves. I don't know anything about the dude from Olympiacos. And I think the one that really hurts you guys is letting Ryan Brewster leave. I think Brewster.
That's why I would give us a C. Honestly, because of Ryan Brewster. One thing I don't like about Liverpool is there are times where we will go ahead and give somebody in the academy a chance to flourish and take their time and break into the first team, aka looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold, TAA, Curtis Jones a little bit. I mean, he's starting to get more playing time in the first team and stuff like that. But with Ryan Brewster, I mean, even though he plays that forward position, I feel like there are a couple of times there are times where we could have took Firmino out. We could have gotten Ryan Brewster. And also the acquisition of Takumi Minamino, him coming in, that doesn't really help him. He came in last January. That really didn't help Ryan Brewster out anyway. And then where him, he goes on to loan at Swansea and scores 10 goals in 20 matches, just like that. I mean, yeah, he needed to leave, go get some playing time. I don't know how or why Sheffield agreed to the buyback option that we put into the transfer. That really didn't make any sense for me.
Because they need him very badly.
And if I was Ryan Brewster, honestly. Right, but I think if I was Sheffield, I would be like, we're not doing a buyback option. Either you let him go and we keep him, or
that's also
you
why
guys don't let him go. But I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, that is
why United didn't sign.
Why United what?
Didn't sign the left back or right back from Madrid, because we wouldn't accept a buyback option, but Tottenham did. So small club.
Region.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give us a C. And honestly, due to the fact too that we let Dejan Lovren go and we only have one backup center back, that's always hurt. And now, I mean, you can saw a couple games ago, Joe Gomez was hurt, and so we had to have Fabinho fill in at center back. But whatever.
Man City.
On to Manchester City. So they bring in Ferran Torres, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz. And out the door is Leroy Sané, Nicolas Otamendi, Jack Harrison, David Silva, and Claudio Bravo. And then
Angelino.
Oh, yeah, Angelino. But I think he just took another loan deal to go to Leipzig, right? Or did they make that official?
It's another loan, but he's one I think is better than the options they had personally. City.
Yeah, who do they have at left back?
Yao.
Anyway, go ahead.
They paid so much money for Yao Cancelo last year, and then they never played him. And perhaps he needs more time, and I'm like, bro, it's February.
Yeah, and then you're also thinking about Eric Garcia too. I think Garcia plays left back. No, Garcia plays center back. My bad.
And he's leaving for Barca next year anyway, apparently. I think the two key ones here are Torres helps replace losing Sané and David Silva in attack and wing. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys you can shift him almost anywhere along the front line, and he can put in a good shift. Ake I was shocked when City bought Ake. He's one of those guys I don't know how to judge, because I'm like, you're good, but I wouldn't actually want you in a key game, but I'd want you better than my squad depth, but I wouldn't actually want to trust you. Ruben Diaz is the standout here.
I disagree with that for sure on the Nathan Ake take. But go ahead, finish up what you're saying with Diaz.
Diaz, I think, Diaz has boom or bust written all over him. He's either going to be in that top 10 center back in the world, or he's going to be a lot like, what's his name? Who was the center back they spent a ton of money on not that long ago from Porto, who had 3 good months and then it just went terrible from there.
If I'm correct, he was ball-headed, wasn't he?
Yep.
Because he came from the Spanish league. Oh, he was? Yeah? Is he French or is he Portuguese?
I think he's French.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember his name.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, y'all listen.
That just shows you how irrelevant he is.
But
he did get a couple of championships, though.
Yeah, I mean, hey. Alexander Butner has more titles with us than Steven Gerrard ever did with Liverpool.
Hey,
I think I'm gonna give City a C-. Again, with the same reasoning. I think they did just enough to replace what they lost. I don't think they actually really got there. Especially, this is back-to-back years now. They've lost Company and they've lost David Silva. That's a lot of leadership that they've lost between those two guys in the last 2 years. I mean, those are two of the most respected players in the world from everybody, from fans to players. That's a lot of leadership they've lost, and I don't know where or how they've replaced it. Oh, boy. Guess who's up next?
I think that's going to be their Achilles. I think that's going to be their Achilles heel, though, for City. Like they don't have that true voice, that true leadership voice in the dressing room. And I think for me, yeah, I would give them a. You said you gave them a C plus, yeah, or a C minus?
C minus.
C minus. Yeah, I think I'll give them a C minus as well. I think due to the fact that they're losing David Silva, one, but again, also thinking about that they lost Leroy Sané. As an attacking threat, you take Leroy Sané over Ferran Torres any day of the week. I mean, you look at Leroy Sané, you put him in your starting team no matter what the team is. So that's why I'll give him a C minus as well. All right, you take it from here. Manchester United.
So Manchester United, hell of a busy day today. We got three players today on deadline day. Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, the free agent, and Facundo. I don't even know how to say this man's name, and I'm sorry, kid. He's the 18-year-old right winger, Facundo Pellistri from Atletico Pinarol. He's Uruguayan. We also signed another guy, another 18-year-old from Atalanta in Italy. He was 20 million up front and up to 21 million euros in potential bonuses. Alexis Telles was not a lot. He was like 12 million euros or something like that. Cavani, free agent. Donny van de Beek, 39 million euros. Igalo on loan again. I'm going to go with a B minus F. B minus because I think
you say B minus F.
Yes, a B minus F because
okay.
Because
you got it.
Look at these players. I think Alex Telles offers us a better left back than we have right now in Luke Shaw. I think whatever that last ankle injury that happened to Shaw in the restart, it's taken something from him mentally that I don't know if he's coming back from it or not. Cavani is a much better backup option than Igalo, which Igalo is still a nice option to have, but not to have Cavani to slide in there when Martial goes on his streakies where he's on fire and then he's frozen cold. Cavani also offers you – Cavani is the most underrated player, I think, in the last, 5 to 10 years. He did nothing but score goals for PSG, and all PSG cared about was Zlatan saying Zlatan things and Neymar coming in and being Neymar. Cavani was just out there banging goals in left and right.
Yeah,
and
even in his Napoli days too.
Pellistri and the kid from Atalanta are both – they are young players, which coincide with our, let's promote youth, let's go young, which I do like that. But they're also – I think they're both 18 years old, and I'm like, these are the first time we've signed any true right wingers in forever, but they're both literally kids, so who knows. In terms of going out, Alexis Sanchez, James Garden, Alexis Sanchez, Chris Smalling on permanent deals out. I think it's good that both left. Angel Gomez leaving hurts me and the United Academy fans everywhere because he's one of those. He might be the most talented player, inch for inch, pound for pound in the world, but he's also 5 foot.
I didn't even know he left.
Yep, he left. He didn't sign a new contract.
Left. Wow. Okay.
Tahith Chong.
Yeah, because he wasn't gonna get the fucking playing time.
Tahith Chong, I think, is a good loan move. I still think he has potential. Diogo Dalot is one that he's like Mourinho's last signing, so then he kind of got stuck in between the Mourinho Ole. So he's on loan to AC Milan.
Yeah.
Andres Pereira, he's one of those guys at this point. He hasn't kicked on where we need him to. James Gardner, though, I actually think I wish we had kept and didn't let go out on loan because I would start him over Pogba right now. My midfield right now would be James Gardner, Donny van de Beek, and Bruno Fernandes because I don't know what's going on with Pogba either. And Pogba's arm, I don't get what's going on with Pogba's arm. The whole situation with Pogba confuses me right now. But, yeah, I think B minus F because a lot of those players are actually players that improve us now and long term, and F because let's do everything on the last possible day. I mean, Cavani's been a free agent for 3 months. Everybody else he signed today, the Sancho fiasco, where you got every former player ever commenting on it. I mean, terrible. I don't care that you're upset that people are talking shit about you. You didn't do the job. You could have done the job. It's the same thing. It's waiting till January to sign Bruno. It's paying the same price for Maguire in August that you were told in May. It's a joke.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the 120 million pound valuation was it pound or euros? I think it was pounds. 120 million pound valuation for Sancho. Oh, it was euros. Well, anyway,
105 million pounds. Yes, I think.
Well, do you think Sancho was worth 120? That's what I'm really getting at.
No, but I don't think almost any player is worth that much. Maybe I don't think it's, especially with what COVID has done locally, nationally, and internationally. And you've seen a lot of that, where a lot of transfer prices, a lot less superstar movement, and a lot lower prices in general this year with the market. And I think it would have been ridiculous to pay that much. And I think it was ridiculous Dortmund allegedly never openly was willing to negotiate. I think 80 million pounds would have been a fine offer. That's what we accepted for Ronaldo when Ronaldo left. Once you get past 100 million, I mean, you got to be like Mbappe, a Messi, or Ronaldo, where I can count on, where I can almost assume you will score or assist in every game you play. And I don't think Sancho is on that level. Not to knock him. I think there's like 3 players on that level right now. That's Neymar, Messi.
Do you think Sancho could get to that level?
I don't know. I mean, I think he can be near that.
He's only, what, 20?
Yeah, he's about 20, maybe 21. I mean, Don't get me wrong. If you think about it, if he stays for the next 10 years, then yeah, it's well worth it. But you don't know if that's the case. You don't know if he gets hurt and he never really plays for you. So that's a risk. And shelling out 120 million pounds in this environment, I understand not doing it. But then to also think arrogantly when they tell you a certain deadline in August, and then you're like, well, I'll just keep offering the same amount for the next forever, and they'll eventually cave in.
Right.
Was ridiculous. So that's why I say B- F, because players we did sign, I think, are good signings. I don't think we overpaid at all for anyone, especially when you see like Madrid paying 50 million euros for 16-year-olds out of Brazil with the youth players that we brought in. And with all those other like 16-year-olds that we signed from Atletico and Barca and Real for the academy, we're just going to win the treble for 3 years in a row in about 6 years. We'll be fine. I just got to get through the next 6 years. Your grade, sir?
So see, he's got to. So maybe that's what Woodward's really trying to do. He's just trying to, be like, yo, I'm setting the table for a good 3-year run in 6 years. So that's all you got to wait for. Overall, for you guys, though, if I give you guys a grade, I would say, honestly, I would probably say a C or a C minus. I think, yes, Donny van de Beek, great signing. Alex Telles, I think another good signing. And Edson Cavani.
I think Telles coming in, we can push Williams back to right back where he initially started in the academy. So he can actually.
Yeah, you can do that.
We can start them both, or Telles and Wan-Bissaka. But Wan-Bissaka needs to learn how to fucking pass the ball, because Jesus.
I think also Wan-Bissaka needs a couple of games off to get his mind right, get his feet back under him too, because he was looking really slow.
Learn how to cross the ball.
In game.
I can still hit a cross.
Yeah, but that's not what he was known for. So he was known for his defensive abilities. I mean, even though he's been looking lackluster in that department as well. But I say give you guys a C minus. I think it's good that you guys got rid of some guys or let go some guys that needed to be let go. And I mean, you guys brought into the players, but yeah, I definitely feel you on the fact that you guys waited till the last minute to do your business. Next, Newcastle. I think the biggest names that we can say for this is Colin Wilson, Ryan Fraser, and Jamal Lewis from Norwich.
I'm gonna go just straight easy with this one. C+, I think. Yeah. Wilson and Fraser helped a lot to actually score goals. but that team is such a mess.
Or career chances, too.
With the ownership, with the takeover, with the failed takeover, with the fans hating the owner. They'll be near the relegation most of the season.
Yeah, I'll give them a C. For sure. They'll be fighting for it on the last day for sure. I'll give them a C-. Next, Sheffield. I think biggest signings of them bringing in Ryan Brewster from Liverpool and then Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth, the goalkeeper. Other than that, don't know any of these other guys that are coming in, going out. So I was at C-.
Yeah, Max Lowe from Derby is actually, I've seen some of the videos of him playing when I watched some of Ronay, Mr. Wayne Ronay, down at Derby County.
Ronay!
The thing with Sheffield, I was really high on them with you when we started our league predictions, but looking at them play and looking at that squad list and looking at these ins and outs, they lost arguably one of the top 3 keepers in the league last year, and their replacement isn't anywhere near his level. I like Brewster, but I'm going to go with a D+, because outside of Brewster, I just don't see where they're going to get the goals to stay alive, especially with how
I'm going
they've been hit.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll definitely agree. I'll go D+ with that too. Next, Southampton. I think Kyle Walker-Peters and Theo Walcott. I don't know Ibrahima. They walk out today. I don't know Ibrahima Diallo or Mohamed Salisu. Don't know either of those players. Who they have going out? Cedric Soares with the Arsenal.
Cedric left. That one hurts. Harrison Reed was good. Alfie Jones was a good squad player, I think, actually.
Sofane Boufal, he went to Angers, so he went to France. Okay. Yeah,
well,
that's
he was
really,
one. He'd either score a hat trick or he would kick the ball out of the stadium on an open net.
Yeah. Outside of that one highlight where he dribbled through the whole team last season, that was really it. So I'm gonna give him a D+ as well, to be honest. Actually, no, I don't give him a D+. I'll give him a D. I'm really not going anywhere with that.
I'm gonna go with a D, especially because I think they lost a lot of who their team has been.
Yeah.
Lamina also left.
Yeah, and then
Yoshida left for free. Hojbjerg left for Spurs. I mean, just so much of those guys that they've trusted on their team are gone. And that's good for them. Tottenham Hotspur.
Spurs. Carlos Vinicius, Gareth Bale coming back home. Sergio Reguilon.
Matt Doherty.
Yeah, both on loan. Yes, Matt Doherty. Free Hart coming in on the free. And Pierre-Emile Højbjerg coming in from Southampton. Who they have going out? So they have Ryan Sessegnon going to Germany for a loan. Oliver Skip, Vertonghen left. Victor Wanyama. Okay, yeah, so he's still in MLS. Troy. Oh, they sent out Troy Parrott. Wow. I wonder if that's a full season or if that's a half the season.
I'm gonna go B-. Bale, splashy name. I think Sergio Reguilon he's a really good signing under the radar. Matt Doherty's
last couple
not a replacement for
last couple games I've seen of Sergio has been good.
Doherty's not a replacement for Vertonghen, but he's a good squad player. He's definitely a good third center back in my opinion.
And then Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I think they put him in there just to solidify the midfield to have someone stop counterattack and stuff like that. Yeah, I give him a B+. Honestly,
he's a good Mourinho player too, though, because he's a smart player. He sees the full field at all times. Backup goalkeeper, swap out.
He is not
Joe Hart for Michel Vorm. The thing I don't get
Højbjerg.
I don't get letting Ryan Sessegnon go. I think Sessegnon. I think he made the wrong pick when he went to Tottenham. I'd wish we had signed him from Fulham after Fulham got relegated a couple of years ago. And he would have been here to challenge Luke Shaw at left back the last couple of years. He can play anywhere up and down the left side, from left back to left winger to even almost the left forward.
Right.
He's got that type of skill set. I don't know.
I honestly think he made the jump to the Prem too early. I think he should have stayed with Fulham even when they got relegated, and then if they would have came back, played another season, and then go, or if they didn't make it, they just after being relegated, just play with Fulham for one more year and then stay, and then go and leave to a bigger club. Because I honestly think, and especially with the hype of who he was, especially when he was in the championship, I think he could have went to a better team than Tottenham. Whether it been you guys or maybe a
I get why he went to though, because he went when Poch was still there, and Poch has a very
good
players. But obviously,
for sure.
He got there just at the wrong time because they had way too many left backs and left-sided players, anyways.
Yeah.
So he'll be. Yeah. He's still. I mean, he's hella young. He's like 21.
And with bringing in Sergio too, that didn't help his case. So it just made sense for him to leave. I give them a B-.
Yeah.
Actually, a B due to the fact that they finally spent some damn money after paying $5 billion for that new stadium.
Not quite.
They finally spent some money on players. Next, okay.
West Brom.
We got our last three teams. Thanks for sticking with us, friends. West Brom. They brought in Branislav Ivanovic, old Chelsea player. Do we call him a Chelsea legend or we just call him a Chelsea player?
Chelsea player. He wasn't that good.
Chelsea player.
He was consistent.
He wasn't, but I mean,
he was consistently there.
His teammates. His teammates made him look decent. And that's really it. I mean, I know I was watching earlier. West Brom was still trying to bring in a forward or two. I don't think anything came out of that. Matthias Prier. I remember watching him in the championship last season. Phenomenal player, great signing from Sporting Lisbon, and they got him on loan. So I guess they finally got the full. They did a full actual transfer for him. So that's good that they got to keep him. And other than that, I really don't know any of these other players. So I'll guess I'll give him a C- due to the fact that they got Pereira to stay and stuff like that. And it seemed like he wanted to stay too because he had a phenomenal season last year in the championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go D+. Again, it's one of the. I think this is a team. They're gonna struggle for goals. I don't see where they're getting them. I don't see where they're stopping them. Colin Rodson, I think is a decent player they brought in, but I'm not seeing enough from him. Okay, weirdest team of the year so far, even weirder than your 4-0 Everton Toffees, West Ham United.
West Ham bringing in Thomas
David Moyes
Suchek.
on Zoom. Just stay on Zoom and you'll win all your games apparently.
Yeah. They brought in Thomas Suchek and then they brought in Vladimir Kufal. Don't know who Vladimir Kufal is, to be honest with you.
Both from Slavia Prague and the dude from AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them a grade. I don't know any of the guys they brought in, and I really don't. I'm sorry, y'all. They let Jack Wilshere go on a free, which is fair because the kid is talented, but his ankles, he has no ankles. Pablo Zabaleta they released.
That's true.
I don't know. Zabaleta, I would almost kind of keep around for that experience in the Prem, but I think that's kind of what last season was, and you could tell when he was really needed, he was just not there. And then last, Wolverhampton, the Portugal national team, Wolves.
Portugal 2.0, basically. Portuguese team.
The biggest name, the two interesting names here, bringing in Fabio Silva and Nelson from Porto, and then Nelson Semedo from Barcelona. I'm going to go with a D. I think they've lost.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't do anything to help themselves.
They lost. They didn't lose any of their big four players, but they lost all the key guys outside their big four. So to me, their big four is Jimenez, their striker, Ruben Neves, and João Moutinho in midfield. Who I think João Moutinho could hit a through ball for you to get on the other end of it into a wide open one-on-one with the keeper. No offense, buddy, but he just gonna find a way to get you wide open. Ruben Neves.
Not taking. I'll take those. I'll take those through balls all day, every day.
Ruben Neves, one of the best young midfielders in the world, in my opinion. And then Reed Patricio, most underrated goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion. Outside of them, though, they lost.
That's a good take. I like that.
They lost Doherty. They lost Diego Jota. A lot of loans out. I see them mid-table struggling this year. A lot of ups and downs. Oh, Helder Costa, that's the other big one too. Him going off to Leeds.
Yeah. But they already had
and Doherty to Arsenal. That's the other thing. A lot of their key guys left in the league, which is kind of weird. But yeah.
Well,
I gotta say.
Who was it? Hold on, wait before you make that point. Who went to Leeds? Oh, Helder Costa.
Yeah.
He was on loan for them the second half of the season last season, and then they just made his move permanent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that was in the documentary, by the way, as well.
That's right.
Yes. So, but continue.
Yeah, I go D here. You go D here too. A lot of harsh grades.
I would say D, honestly, because I feel like Wolves, they didn't resupply themselves as efficiently as they should have. I think they are still missing some good talent in some key areas, and that has been proven with the record that they have right now in the league so far. Now, again, we're only 4 games in, and they finally won their first game, but at the same time, I don't think they – I'm just surprised that they let go of who they let go, and then bringing in who they brought in, it was just kind of it did something, but it doesn't really do something. But, yeah, overall, a lot of harsh grades, but we'll see what happens in January where we have some mid-season transfers, which usually those either make complete sense or they don't make any sense at all. Those are our grades.
Quick recap. For me, the 3 best are probably Arsenal, Everton, and Aston Villa. Those would be my top 3.
Your winners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both short.
I'll say if you're doing winners, I'll do losers. I think our biggest losers, let's see. I would say probably this is hard because there's so many goddamn losers.
There's a lot. There's a lot of things that just did not do, I think.
Yeah, I'll say Wolverhampton, one of the losers, because again, just like I just said, they let go of a lot of people, but they didn't replenish themselves as efficiently as they should have. And then if I also want to throw out another name, I think Sheffield. I don't think they did as good as they could have done in the transfer window. And then of course I think just to say it, just to be honest, I would say Manchester United is probably another loser due to the fact of, again, a lot of the reasons you said I'm saying this due to the fact of I think you guys are losers because I feel like you guys would have done way better if you guys would have acted sooner on a lot of these transfers that you guys, even the ones that you guys did pull off, and you guys probably could have gotten some other players if you guys would have actually been proactive in the transfer window. So that's the only reason why I said, but I don't say that due to the fact of the players that you actually signed. Those would be the losers. Let's wrap it up real quick and do our final league predictions now the transfer window is over. So, no explaining. I'm just going to say right off the bat who's getting relegated. Fulham. Give me 2 more teams. Fulham, West Brom, and who else, sir?
That third one's tough. But I'm going to go with Brighton.
Brighton, Fulham, and West Brom. Okay. My bottom 3, Fulham I agree with. West Brom I agree with. I honestly think it's going to be Newcastle. I think Newcastle's out of here. I think Newcastle finishes last, to be honest.
I had it in between Newcastle and Brighton for that last one. I think Fulham finished dead last. I seriously don't see where they're going to get goals from. I don't see how they're going to stop getting scored on.
Yeah. All right. Next. Top 4. Give it to me. 4 through 1. Who's fourth spot? Who you got?
I'm gonna go 6 through 1. Sixth place Manchester United.
So you went from having
I'm
them.
gonna go Man United 5th. No, I'm gonna go 4th. United go 4th.
No, you.
I'm stuck right now, and I get that.
So you dropped them from 2nd to 4th when you know
First.
they should be between 3 and 6.
4th.
Oh, that's right. You did have them first.
United get 4th.
Wild one.
Yeah.
So who's 5th?
Chelsea 6. Leicester 5.
So Chelsea 6, Leicester 5, Manchester United 4th.
Arsenal 3rd.
I'm waiting. You don't even have us in the top 4, do you?
Liverpool 2nd. Man City 1st. I think Everton tail off.
Oh, there it is.
I think Everton tail off. I think City get it together with how much talent they have. I see it's going to be a much lower point requirement. I think somewhere in the 80s is going to end up winning it this year, especially after the last couple of years.
Yeah, especially
near perfection from Yao and City.
Wow.
I think Everton tail off in that middle period. That's one of those things. I like Carlo teams. I don't trust them, especially in this type of league. Tottenham, I think, will do well. Tottenham and Leicester are my wild card when I'm looking at it. And United, too.
So you have 6th place Chelsea, 5th place Leicester, 4th place United, 3rd Arsenal, Liverpool 2nd, City 1st. Yes?
That. Okay, if I'm being honest.
Oh, my God, Alex. Stick to your gut, sir.
This hurts.
What are we doing?
United gets 6th place.
This is your last and final shot.
Last one.
6th place, 6th place, Chelsea. United 6th place.
5th place,
there
Chelsea.
We go. 5th.
I'll keep it a little bold and keeping everything up. Tottenham get 4th. I think Arsenal gets 7th. Everton gets 3rd. And I'll keep the top two. City 1st, Liverpool 2nd.
You think Everton's gonna hold on and stay in the top 4? If Everton play championship football next season, I will give you $5. If Everton finishes within Champions League football, you hear it right here, right now. I will make sure I will give you $5.
Yep. All right, your top 6.
My top 6. Leeds United 6th place. No, I'm fucking with you. No. That's all cap. Straight cap.
He's out here. I'll give you some hot takes. I'll throw out bold predictions. He's just gonna say the top 6 and the top 6. Like he ain't giving no bold. Nothing.
Oh God. No, I think. You're probably gonna look at me kind of weird when I say, especially when I get to 3, 2, and 1. I think it is going to be 6th place. I would say probably you guys, honestly. And then Chelsea 5th. I'm going to give Arsenal 4th. I'm going to give
Arsenal and Tottenham, I'm going to be honest. Arsenal and Tottenham are the 2 teams I really don't know how to judge. I really don't.
I think you guys 6th, Chelsea 5th. And then Arsenal 4th, Tottenham 3rd, and then Liverpool, and then City 2nd, and then Liverpool 1st. I don't
look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Charles Hot Take Smith with your top 6 in the top 6. What a bold projection.
I don't trust Leicester. I don't. Keep it a buck with you. You should be happy because I put Leicester would be under you guys. Now, if
I might take Leicester over us.
Overtake you guys. Jesus Christ! But yeah, So yeah, I have Liverpool, then City, Tottenham. I think Mourinho, especially, and let me also explain this with Tottenham being in third. This only happens if they can stay away from injuries. So if Son, Kane, Lamella, anybody really, any of their prime players in each forward midfield, in the attackers, midfield and forward, defenders, if their prime, like most notable players, stay injury free, then that's where I see Tottenham making a big push. Because if they play like they did against you guys, even before the red card, like they were playing very well against you guys. They were moving the ball up, back, and forth. I think if they can stay injury,
that bad.
No, because I think even when you guys had 10 men, like you guys kept up with them a little bit. You guys if you guys would have had 10 men and just stayed in the game a little bit more, I think it would have been a more interesting game. But then of course, the red card just killed the whole thing for you guys. But yeah, so that is my lead prediction. So yeah,
cool.
We'll see. We'll do this again in January after the transfer window. We'll see what the hell happens.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those Leeds fans out there, we want to thank you again for tuning in to the Full Time Podcast.